prepared to fight. Backline set tonight.
Hi, I'm Paige.
And I'm Tien.
Welcome to In These Cleats.
Ole, 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 ole. Ole, in these cleats. Okay, we nailed it.
Crushed
okay,
it.
we crushed it. Okay, well, we're going to talk about some of our favorite, like, iconic World Cup moments. Just a shout out, I'm currently wearing the Women's World Cup USA 99. It's not an original. It was purchased off of eBay by my wife. Love you. Thank you so much. My favorite World Cup moment was maybe Rose Lavelle's goal in the most recent World Cup, 2019, against the Netherlands. Because I think it was such a sign of where the team was headed. Like, you had the first goal that was scored by Megan Rapinoe off of the PK. But then to, like, kind of seal the game and just essentially, like, cement the winning of the World Cup was Rose Lavelle is just dribbling down the center of the field towards Netherlands goal. Does a little, like, amazing little fakey, like, shot move that turns her defender, and she's outside the box and just cuts across it with her right foot and, like, buries it in the corner. And as she's, like, falling, I just remember it so vividly, like, as she's falling, she sees the ball go in and she's, like, celebrating as she's falling. And I remember her, like, on the ground, on her knees, looking up at Alex Morgan, just going,
yeah. Yeah, no, it was so cute. She was so young in that tournament. And she was, like, the most exciting player to watch the whole tournament. And everyone was like, oh, gosh, are we going to win just off PKs? Like, we all were begging for another goal. And Rose Lavelle, she does what she does. She comes through. And I'm super excited to watch her in this World Cup this year.
I know, because it was so cool. It's like almost like a passing of the torch to see that, like, older generation is still there, like Rapinoe and Morgan, but, like, I feel like the team is starting to become more Lindsay Horan, Rose Lavelle, sort of they're the new core.
Yeah. I mean, Ashley Sanchez, Trinity Rodman, Alyssa Thompson. We have so many young players, and it's so exciting to see. 14 have never been in a World Cup. And so, but Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan's, their leadership is gonna come through. Mm-hmm. And I really can't wait to see what they have in store for us this year.
I know, we're gonna have so many new iconic World Cup moments. Yeah. What's your favorite?
Mine is, well, one of my favorite players of all time is Carly Lloyd, just because she has this crazy mentality. She play a 90-minute game and, like, go run 8 miles after. Yeah,
it's scary. It's scary. If I met Carly Lloyd, I'd be scared.
Yeah. Yeah, she's scary. Yeah, I've met her, and I was scared. But she scored this amazing hat trick in the 2015 World Cup.
Yep.
And we just talked about it. All the other players were going to sit down and rest because they weren't needed in that game. She hit this beautiful shot from half field, and she was like, this is just too easy.
I know. It was against Japan, right?
Yes.
Okay. I remember that.
Yeah. She's she's my all-time favorite player, and she's a badass.
It was one of those games, too, where I was like, you kind of won a close game, but as the score started to run up, you're like, fuck it, we're good.
Yeah.
We've won.
Goals are fun.
Goals are fun to watch. You're absolutely right. How about Christine Lilly's epic save in the 1999 finals against China?
That was incredible. There's a corner, and it went in the box. Someone almost scored, and Christine Lilly came off the post to clear this ball off the line with her head.
Which is absolutely crazy. And then as it's bouncing around in the box, Brandi Chastain does, like, a scissor kick to get it out.
That's like a typical fan term. I think it's just called, like, a half volley.
Oh,
to clear
is
the
it?
ball.
I'm just trying to say scissor kick at any opportunity.
Actually, our goalkeeper coach would be so mad that she was hugging the post at the beginning.
Really, because if you watch it again, too, like, Brianna Scurry's totally beat.
Yeah.
Absolutely would have never gotten to it.
Yeah. That is trust in your team. With your post player, they're there for a reason, to help the goalkeeper out, to clear it off the line, and that was incredible.
Absolutely insane. Do you do those sort of, like, drills where, like, the ball is bouncing in the box and as a defender you have to, like, react and clear? Or, like, how do you practice for, like, when it's chaos in the box like that? Do you practice for that?
Yeah, we practice that every single week. And it's about mentality. It's like doing everything you can to clear this ball off the line. And I can't imagine on the World Cup stage how intense that is. And she said she actually didn't remember that she did it. That is like a typical player. It just happens so fast and you're doing everything you can to survive.
And that was like, what was it, golden goal rule too? So like if they had scored, it would have been done.
Game over.
Game over.
Yeah, and Brandi Chastain would have never had her moment that made me a professional today.
And turned us all gay for a lifetime.
So thank you.
I had that poster, that Brandi Chastain. I like to call it my gay breadcrumb. Because just like looking back on my life, just like, wow, look at all these little breadcrumbs that were so gay that I didn't know.
Well, now we have Christine Lilly also to thank.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine Lilly, for making all of us gay. World Cup update. USA versus Netherlands.
I don't know what fully to think. I was pretty disappointed, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Not even by the result. Like 1-1 against Netherlands. We played them in the finals in 2019. Like it's a good result. I'm just disappointed on how we played. We were in a 4-3-3 in the first half, and the Netherlands were in a 3-5-2, and they utilized space much more than us with their wingers. Mm-hmm. And we didn't press them at all. And they had a 3-back against our front 3. And we had so much opportunity to bring the hype, bring the energy with runners in our front line, and we didn't. And they were able to play through us pretty easily. The Netherlands didn't look totally dangerous all the time, but they were just playing like a 5v2 all around us, especially in like the mid to defensive third.
Yeah, they totally outnumbered us in the midfield. It felt like our 3 were just kind of running around, chasing the ball in like almost a futile way. Like, how do you combat that in the game? Like, what sort of formation change should have happened to kind of go against getting outnumbered so much in the midfield?
Yeah, so we got outnumbered in the midfield because our forwards were responsible for both of their 6s, but also the back 3. So what should have happened is like it comes from the coach or leader on the field, like go press. And Alex Morgan starts pressing.
And press as a unit.
And then our midfielders can shift up with them and be closer to their 6s, their midfield. And so they couldn't play through us so easily. In the first half, we didn't release our outside backs. Crystal and Fox stayed home, and it gave so much space to their wingers. And in the second half, that changed a little bit. We released our outside backs, we started releasing our forwards, and everyone was shifting as a unit, and it was much better.
Yeah, I mean, the introduction of Rose Lavelle too definitely injected a sense of energy and pace and creativity that I feel like she always brings into a game. She's just like a game changer.
Yeah, she's such a game changer. I still don't know why we did not start her, and we didn't utilize subs, which I thought after
outrageous.
Everyone was so mad. I mean, Lynn Williams has been doing amazing in the NWSL. She's a prolific scorer for Gotham.
I mean, I think she's 4th in the league right now.
Yeah, and the ability to get out wide and even put crosses in. Here's our issue. Like, we didn't utilize the width at all with their 3-back. They got in an organized shape. And we have dribblers to goal. Trinity wants to cut inside, go to goal. Sophia wants to cut inside, go to goal. Alex stays central just to go to goal. We needed to utilize the width more, have Fox, Crystal go up. But even like put in a Huerta.
And stretch them.
Yeah, and just stretch them. And we kept going down the middle. And we needed to switch the ball way faster and really keep their wingers, since they're in a 3-5-2, home. But they were able to stay high and enjoy the ball a lot more. And it was really frustrating to watch. I think they needed a halftime to kind of get their crap together and come together as a team, because when you don't have someone to be like, this is how we're going to exactly play in the middle of the game, it's really hard to figure out as a team.
Yeah, no, it's really easy to sit on my little camp chair out in the Angel City watch party being like, oh, yeah, sub them in immediately. This is the game plan now. But more on the positive side, Lindsey Horan absolutely stepped up and scored an incredible goal after getting hacked all game, or actually getting into a little tiff with a former current teammate of hers. I think personally that we should hire someone to just follow Lindsey Horan around and kick her ankles for like the hour leading up to the game.
That's not a bad idea. I think every player, maybe push them, shove them around on the sidewalks of New Zealand.
I will fly down there right now and start kicking Lindsey Horan ankles.
You might get arrested, but it's worth it.
If we win, I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail for it.
That's so selfless, really.
Anything for the team.
Yeah.
After that moment, it felt like everyone kind of got like an energy boost. I read that before she scored that goal, while Horan was kind of getting into it with Van de Donk, she already had a yellow. If she got another yellow, she would have missed the next game against Portugal. So Julie Ertz comes over, and you can see from like, as an audience member, you're like, okay, what is Julie Ertz saying? They asked her after the game, and I guess Julie was like, I have no idea what I said. And Horan was like, I remember you told me to shut up and score a goal. We will recruit you.
Do you know what time it is?
Is it the twerking hour?
No, but it's big gay recruit time.
Ooh, well, that's getting right to the point now, ain't it?
Tien, what are we going to do to wow our recruit?
Fight songs.
Woo!
Okay, so Lauren, these fight songs, they're like very popular in European soccer. Okay. And now they're starting to do them a little more in the United States. And they are essentially like these fans come up with parody songs to cheer on their favorite players, or even like kind of talk smack to opposing players.
That's very
Which
fun.
I know you love.
I do love it.
Okay, and as like a theater person, I mean, this is like an opportunity to do some musical numbers.
Yeah, I feel like this might be in my wheelhouse.
I know, and this is an opportunity to steal the spotlight from the players, you
Oh
know?
my God.
I know, you're shining. Okay, our team here has come up with some original parody songs. Original parody, kind of oxymoron. Original parody songs to root on the Angel City FC players. So we're going to teach you some of them.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, great. So this first one is to the tune of Bingo. Are you familiar?
The child song?
Yes. Yes.
The child song
yes,
for the
child song.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Team, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. There was a striker, fast as light, and Endo was her name. Oh, June E-N-D-O, June E-N-D-O, June E-N-D-O, and Endo was her name. Oh.
Now that's fun.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fun, right?
I love that one. Yeah, I'll yell that at the game.
Okay.
I'll play and yell it at the game.
Okay. Okay. Lauren, this next one is to the tune of Carly Rae Jepsen's hit, Call Me Maybe.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
Absolutely. It's the only song I know.
It's the only song I know of hers too. Like, couldn't name another one.
I was gonna say Friday, but that's by
Rebecca Black.
Yeah. They're in the same world for me.
They're the same.
Yeah.
Queer icon now. Did you know that?
Really?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Check her
shout
out. Okay. This one. All right, team, we ready? Yeah. Her name is Nielsen. Her skills are crazy. 14's her number. We call her Paige. Yes. Lauren, I see you singing.
And all the other girls try to play her, but they're trash.
And kiss her
ass. Yeah.
Paige, do you want that to be your song?
Maybe not.
Okay. We went too far.
Tough criticism. Okay.
Can't kiss
we
her
can
ass.
take it.
Okay. This next one to the tune of Backstreet Boys' Everybody. Sarah Gordon. Yeah. Paige Nielsen. Yeah. Allie Riley. Vignola's here to fight. Backline set tonight.
That was fire.
That was really fire.
I love the click of the heels at the end.
They do that in the dance.
Oh, really?
They're like in their spacesuits and they go.
and then
It looks better without gravity, but
right.
because they're in space.
Yeah. That was cool. I think we should add that to the chant.
Lauren, I feel like you're into the fight song.
This is really getting me pumped.
Okay, we have some
I wish
more.
this game was just this.
Just the singer. Okay. To the tune of John Mellencamp's Hurts So Good.
Now, this song I do not know. And
You don't know.
Embarrassed.
What?
Don't be embarrassed. It's okay.
I'm scared. Are people going to come for me?
Yeah, obviously. John Mellencamp has a huge fandom.
Oh, God.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hurts so good. Come on, baby, Julie, hurts so good. She won the ball like we knew she would. Makes it hurts so good.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Was that song in like a commercial or something? Like, was it like a jingle?
It probably.
John Mellencamp is like America's favorite. It's like
That's not true because I haven't heard of him.
Lauren, after all the fight songs, your education on John Mellencamp,
Yeah.
where are you at now with your soccer fandom?
Okay, so I was really excited at the beginning. I was gonna give you guys I was like, whoo, 6. I'm getting there. And then the John Mellencamp thing happened.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was upsetting to me. I am still confused about who this guy is. What are his politics? So I think I left last time at a 4. We're heading back down to a 3.
What? We're down to a 3 because of John Mellencamp?
I'm sorry.
I mean, we can scratch it out.
Okay, then maybe I'll change my answer.
I'm in shock. John Mellencamp has never received that much of a hit.
Who is he?
He's a great American singer.
What else has he sung?
You have me so upset that I'm defending him. I don't even care about him.
Okay, I'm staying at a 4.
We didn't go down.
We didn't go down.
Yeah.
We didn't go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, Lauren.
Well, you did go down, then you went back up.
Thank you for reminding
I
us.
just want everybody to be clear.
We're never going to get over Mellencamp Gate.
No.
Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And I think it's good to... 4's not bad.
4's not bad.
Julie Foudy, we're so freaking lucky to have you. I was still searching for the picture when I was like 7 when you signed something of mine, and I had no idea, honestly, who you were. But now I do.
Your mom just shoved you over. Get that girl's signature.
Yeah, she did.
That still happens today. All these little kids who are like, who the hell is she, Mom? Why are you pushing me on her?
We still didn't have Google at the time, so that's not fair.
No, we were asking Jeeves all the time.
To let the audiences know who you are and how much of a badass you are, let's start with you joined the national team at age 16, which is freaking crazy. You played for Stanford. Ew. We can talk about that later.
Ew. Easy, Paige.
You're a 4-time All-American, 2-time World Cup champions. We won't put the 3rd place finals in there.
No.
You're a former captain of the U.S. women's national team, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and I'm already exhausted because you're so successful. 1 silver.
We call that white gold, Paige.
An executive producer and broadcaster, and last but not least, one of the original OGs and a total GOAT of women's soccer. So thank you so much for being on. You called yourself one of the old bags of soccer when talking about the book Pride of Nation, which is hilarious. How has soccer changed from the old bag times like the 99ers to the new bag times of today?
The difference now is as the World Cup's about to start, it's crazy, all the content and all the excitement and everything that people are doing from, podcasts and, Coach Hunt. Well, what is he? Coach Beard. He goes by on Ted Lasso, right? And Rebecca Lowe, we're doing a podcast. And the New York Times sent an email out today saying they're doing a daily brief on the World Cup. I was like,
amazing.
Oh, I know, amazing. All this stuff and content and merchandise and commercials. I mean, gosh, the Nike commercial, the French national team commercial. I mean, back in the day, we were like, hey, you know what? There's a World Cup happening. Does anyone know? Yeah. We were like knocking on doors. Hey, are you guys coming? You want to come to the World Cup?
And I had read too, it wasn't called the World Cup, right?
The first one wasn't. It was called like honestly, Tien, it was. I was joking. It was the M&M Mars Cup. How sweet is that? Literally, it's fabulous to see that finally. It's taken a very long time, but finally that it's getting the attention it has long deserved.
I read all of the stuff you guys did. You were involved in a lockout. You had to call like straight to the federation, and things were obviously a lot slower than before social media, but you still made things happen. Do you think all of those efforts like have been matched by the Federation FIFA, or do you think we still have a long ways to go?
Well, U.S. soccer obviously has come a huge distance and way because of equal pay and that new CBA, which is huge. So we are the gold standard bearer for sure in terms of women's soccer globally. Everyone is looking at what the U.S. has done and this current team and how they got us to equal pay and over the line, which is amazing. But then you look globally, and I mean, just this World Cup. Look at, Spain, for example, in this past year had 12 of its top players basically say they didn't want to play until the federation got its shit together. At the World Cup right now, I think Nigeria is threatening to boycott its first game. Jamaica is fighting their federation. I mean, France just had 3 key players threaten to quit because they couldn't get rid of their coach. So it's a process for sure. I mean, you have a Pia Sundhage who's the Brazil coach saying to me when they played the U.S., what was that, at the She Believes Cup? She said, we can't even think about equal pay. We're just fighting for equal treatment. Like, give me a schedule, give me practice times, give me just the basics. And so it's got a lot of strides still for the rest of the world to catch up.
What's so lovely about the U.S. women's national team, though, too, is that like you don't see in other sports a team dedicated to not only helping, our own cause, but also when Canada was fighting for equal play and equity, like the U.S. team was where it's just like you don't see it in other sports, seeing these women trying to uplift each other, which I love so much about soccer. And what it brings to it is like, the competition gets a lot tougher. So, you talked about how these European teams are finally catching up to the US sort of competitively. And do you feel like, I saw that you had written that coming up into this, we kind of lacked as a team a little bit of creativity, a little like fluidity to our play. How do you feel we are heading into this World Cup in addressing those in the games that have led up to it?
Well, one, we come in as the most favored team, for good reason. We're number 1 in the world, and the U.S. has won back-to-back titles. So you come in with this huge ass target though on your back of like, okay, you 2-time defending World Cup champions who want to create history by this 3-peat nonsense is what the rest of the world is saying. We are out for you. And I know it's just not the United States that's facing this issue, but you have a lot of key injuries that are hurting this U.S. team. I mean, unfortunately, you have a lot of countries who are in similar situations. England, who's one of the biggest competitors, I think probably equally as bad. But Europe is just really good, Tien, and they've invested and they play and they've got a swagger to them that in the past, we always thought with the United States, like even if we can't match them technically, mentally, we have them and our mentality and mindset will win it. Now I don't think they fear the United States anymore. There's not that fear of the U.S. and what they bring. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. And I do think this U.S. team is incredibly talented, but we haven't seen them play to their potential yet for whatever reason. That's like another whole podcast with a lot of wine. But I hope it happens this World Cup. You got a lot of young guns out there that could just be like, let's go. All right. Youth is great because there's an ignorance to being young of like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Paige, what did Alyssa say when she got that call? I mean, because that was a crazy couple months for her.
Yeah, I mean, she knew before the rest of us did because their Netflix team came to her graduation party and we're like, what is this team doing here? But
tip off.
Yeah. She honestly is probably one of the most humble players that I've ever met, and she puts her head down and works super hard. She knows like nothing's ever given. It has to be earned. She went from high school soccer to playing half a year in professional soccer to the U.S. full national team. And she's putting out performances, which is incredible as an 18-year-old.
Right. When she's like racing off to go to her senior prom, I'm like, oh my God. If Netflix did not get the prom, I'm going to be really disappointed in them. Did she actually go to the prom that night? You guys had a game? Because she came out of the game.
Yeah. She said she was super late and it wasn't everything she had hoped.
Oh, she made it. Yes. I missed my senior prom. Yes.
You did? You missed your senior prom because you were playing abroad, or?
Yeah, I was playing with the national team.
Julie, I think that's better than prom. As someone who went to prom with my high school boyfriend, it was fine.
It was fine.
You didn't miss much.
I missed my high school graduation too for the dang national team. And so in college, they wanted me to miss my college graduation. I was like, listen, I gave you high school, Anson. I am not giving you college as well. You do not need me at that tournament in Thailand or wherever you're going. I don't know.
With all of these debutantes that we have, what is something, what would you say to them heading into this World Cup?
I would say to all of them, not just the debutantes, but not to overthink it, right? I think the danger of a global stage and all these eyeballs is then you start to really have this paralysis by analysis. And Vlatko Andonovski, to his credit, is very detailed and very data oriented. So they're already in that mode of analyzing. And at one point you just have to be like, fuck it. I'm going to go in there with that kick the shit muscle, and it's going to become instinctual. I'm going to stop analyzing, stop looking at data, stop worrying about loads and what my heart rate is saying, and just go fucking do it.
Yep.
And that's what I want to see more of with this US team, because sometimes it gets very methodical and analytical, and he's so detailed on all those things, which is great. We know he's an excellent coach, but there's sometimes you just got to go play and be creative and instinctual and feel it.
I'm like, I need to find which one of my kick that shit muscles I have. Do I have one in my body?
You need the shit muscle instead of the think muscle. Let's just go the shit muscle.
Julie, shit muscle is different for some people, I think.
Not that shit muscle. That shit muscle needs to be really nice and loose.
Yes, you're right.
But the kick the shit muscle, go.
Who was that person for you on the 99ers that if you ever got in your head, they were like, hey, get out of there?
Two people. Christine Lilly, I would always warm up with, and we would just kick the ball at the mid-stripe, back and forth. And I know this will come as a great shock, but was not very serious in my pregame preparations. I was the one that was dancing, singing, crazy. And are you like that, Paige?
Yes, that's me. Yes. I'm the only one.
Yeah, I saw that
only one dancing.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, so Lil would say to me, occasionally, I guess, she'd be like, what's wrong with you? I go, what do you mean? She goes, you're so serious today. I'm like, am I? Oh my God, stop this. She's like, you're really focused. It's bugging me. And she would calm my shit out. She'd be like, nope, stop this. Stop this focus stuff. It's not you. So Lil was always one that kept me not focused, which was good. And then Carla, when I would lose my mind, Carla Overbeck, our awesome captain, I was her co-captain for many years. I would get very intense on the field. I'm very competitive. And so at points I would start screaming at a teammate, and my veins would be pumping out of my neck as I would lose it on someone. Or the ref or whatever. I don't know. I was losing it. And she would start cackling, laughing when I would do that. Oh my God, here Julie goes. And I would hear her laughing, this and then it would suddenly make me start laughing. And I would just raise my hand and be like, okay, I got you. Chill the F out. So Carla was my stabilizer, and Lil was the one that made sure I wasn't stable.
If I saw that, I'd be like, get your shit together. We need to win this game.
You wouldn't be laughing at me?
Be like, what are they doing? Having fun out there? That's not it. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you have a favorite moment from the 99 game? Something that you will never forget?
The one moment from that 99 final was China had a corner kick. I talk about this in the 99ers doc. And literally it goes far post. And Michelle Akers, who was our big, tall lion who headed everything out, she had just been like stretchered off the field. So we were missing her in like the box, that presence of someone that's just going to crush it with her head out of there. So we're missing Akers, and they have this corner, and it goes far post, and Bry Scurry, our goalie, comes out to try and get to it, dives across, doesn't get to it. So it's like a wide open goal, and they head it back, and Christine Lilly is on the line. And as you're supposed to do as the post player, you kind of slide across that line, and then she clears it off with her head. And then Brandy, like in Brandy fashion, bikes it out of the, she can't just clear anything. She's got to do it as a bike. She bikes it out of the penalty box, and, we're running to clear our lines out. And so it's still like this kind of really heated moment where they just almost friggin' scored. But Lil heads it off the line. And I catch her as we're running, clearing the lines, and I look at her and I go, "I love you so much!" And I start cracking up. I'm like, "Oh my God, I want to kiss that forehead! I love you so much!" And the two of us start busting up again in the middle of this like World Cup final, and then we, press out and clear it out and. But it was just this recognition like, oh my God, I could kiss you right now. You just saved our lives.
You also were a player for the Women's United Soccer Association and the San Diego Spirit, a predecessor of the NWSL. Like, do you think, that league folded? And do you think the NWSL is doing enough to protect itself against, that happening again? I know we're many years in now, so It feels like we're on the up and up.
I think we're in a really good place. I mean, mind you, given the last few years that we've been through, that's a really strong statement, right? Because literally a year and a half ago, I was like, holy shit, what is happening? And maybe not even that long ago when the Sally Yates and all of that came out, Meg Linehan's reporting. So we obviously have gone through some very dark times. And prior to those reports, just the instability as a player of knowing whether the league was going to survive and do we have enough owners that are willing to pay. And so that's why a lot of those things did happen, is because the players really felt like, I can't say anything because, and Paige, this better than most, right? Is you want the league to survive. This is the third iteration of a league, and you don't want to be the reason that maybe an owner gets out or it fails or whatever. So now I feel like, as we see with a lot of women's sports today, we're at a much healthier place. And it's now an issue where, Angel City, for example, got in at a relatively low number. And now, franchises are going for 50 million, which is a very different number they were fetching just last year or 2 years ago. So I do feel it's in a much better place in general, all of women's sports. But yeah, I look back on those WUSA days because it was we put our heart and soul into getting that league off the ground, and it only lasted 3 years. And we did a lot wrong, but we also did a lot right. And I think, gosh, we had really good owners and investors, and with just a little more knowledge and institutional knowledge and memory about, how to run a league and where we need to put our money, I think we could have been successful. But it was a great precursor because you learned a lot from it.
You can tell the passion in your voice about like still growing the game. And that's truly like inspirational for me. I always joke about like, after I'm done, I'm going to hang up the cleats and drink margaritas every day and watch, hopefully.
Well, I do that too, Paige. It's not mutually exclusive, You can do both.
Well, I was going to just hopefully rest and lay my head because it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
My head.
And
yeah, you definitely need a break. It is.
Do your children know how cool you are?
I tell them every day.
Do you?
Do you know who the coolest mom is? They're 14 and 16 now, so they actually do appreciate like going on trips. Like I took Deck to the ESPYs, my son. My daughter was away, unfortunately. That would have been really cool.
That's the coolest mom move of all time.
Yeah, he was my date. It was my 14-year-old. He came in his little dapper black suit. But I became like his photographer. He's like, Mom, Patrick Mahomes. I need a picture. You know him. I go, I do not know Patrick Mahomes. He's like, you told me he owns a soccer club with his wife. I'm like, he does. He does. And they're really cool, but I don't really know him. No, we're not interrupting him. No. He's like, come on. So I do. I interrupt. I'm like, hey, Brittany. Hey, Patrick.
And did you get that picture?
Yeah, we got it.
Oh my God. See, this is.
And then he's like, hey, Trippie Redd over in the corner. I'm like, who's Trippie Redd? He's like, a rapper. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. They sound great. You're going to all these games. Like, is there ever a moment where you have, while you're doing like your commentary on the game, that you've like looked away for a second, have missed? Like, has that ever happened to you?
Every game.
What do you do?
The trick to calling games is you have to be looking off ball.
Okay.
So your play-by-play guy is doing the on-the-ball stuff, but I'm looking, okay, like what's the back line doing? What's the front line doing? What are the people off the ball? What kind of runs are they making? What's happening on the weak side? And so I often am like, we have this thing called a talkback button, which is my like lifeline to the truck. And so I'll say all the time to the truck, who served that ball in? Who put that ball in? I was, because I'm looking off the ball, right? Like, who was that? And it's like a goal I need to call. It's about to come up. And they're like, running it back. Hold on. We're running it back. I'm like, give me a number quick. I need that name. So obviously you just buy yourself a little time by talking about something else. But that's kind of the cool thing is you've got a lot of eyes with all the cameras. Mm-hmm. And we've switched over now to Warner Brothers Discovery. All the soccer is being done by them. The U.S. games, like the friendlies, not the World Cup, of course, that's on Fox, but the the friendlies, the non-World Cup games are all in Warner Brothers Discovery, which is TNT, HBO Max. So it's really fun because we all travel together. It's a huge crew. It's like the old days. No one does TV like that anymore. So I bless them for doing it. And they're very invested, which is great.
Can you turn your brain off? Can you just enjoy the game without having your brain go? You know, like I feel like sometimes people ask me that about acting. Like, can you turn your brain off when you watch other things? And I'm like, yeah, of course, that's so easy. But can you do that with soccer?
Yeah. Well, what's cool is the Angel City games. It's so nice because one, I can eat and drink as much as I want. And like literally if I walk up to my seat without a beer in my hand, people in section C are like, what's going on? And I'm like, sorry. But what's funny is I sit next to Mia's right behind me. And then Tisha Venturini's to my right. Like Shannon Box is to my left if she's there. Joy Fawcett's right next to me. Shannon McMillan's right next to me. So we all sit right there together. So we start like getting super animated in the middle of the games. Like, why isn't such and such making that run? Or, oh my gosh, that was great. But we need, this out of midfield. And we start analyzing. Mia is so funny because she's very tactical and X's and O's, And so we'll get into these heavy discussions in the middle of the game. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, we got to stop talking. I need to watch more. So it's really fun. I tell her she needs to take her whiteboard down at halftime and just, start, duking it out with everyone.
Before we go here, we have one more question, just to kind of wrap up our World Cup. Who, aside from the U.S. women's national team, who else is going to be in the mix as this year? Who
else beyond the U.S. is in the mix in terms of winning it?
Yeah, because I feel like we're all U.S. women's national team fans.
Right. Who else? Well, obviously England, the European champions. They just won the European Championship last year. Super good. Germany, also super good. I think it's going to come from Europe. France is in that mix. Spain is in that mix. But I think the top two European teams that I've seen I like the most are England and Germany. But the crazy thing is like, look at the send-off game for Germany. They played Zambia. Did you see the score of that? They lost 3-2. Yes. And that Barbara Banda did her thing again. 2 goals. She scored 2 hat tricks back-to-back in the Olympics. and she plays for Zambia. And this is their debut at a World Cup. So you're going to have some teams, I think, that could surprise. Who knows? Like a Haiti may surprise, a Jamaica may surprise. You never know, that could get through. And 6 CONCACAF teams, which is the first time with this expanded field. So that's the good news with women's soccer is beyond Europe, you're seeing that next layer of teams that traditionally you're like, nah, that's a 4-0 game. And now all of a sudden you're like, wow, that was only 1-0. That was a close game. Like they're compact. Maybe they don't have the ability to, go deep into their roster, but their starting 11 are pretty good. So that's been the biggest change and a great change, needed change for women's soccer.
I think Brazil and Japan are going to give a good run.
Do you?
Yeah. For the mere fact that they're just an all-around good team and they haven't had like ebbs and flows as much as the US and England with all the injuries. And there's some...
Although Marta is just coming back from that ACL, so that hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, but they have Ari Borges, they have Dabinia, they have a lot of amazing players, and I can't wait to watch.
How about that Dabinia commercial? How good was that? Have you guys seen that yet?
It's so good.
It's so good, right?
Yeah.
You know who else I hope does well is Australia. I'd love to see Sam Kerr do well.
Same. And their last send-off game gave him some good energy, too.
It'll be fun. Yeah. I'm excited to go.
Julie, thank you so, so much for taking the time to sit with us and chat with us. As always, you're a badass and a legend, and it's so great to get your perspective on all of these things. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah, this has been amazing. And I have your phone number, so if I need anything else, I'll just text you. No.
It's good. You always can.
I appreciate
that.
Okay, this is a game called Either or Neither. Okay, Paige, I'm going to show you 2 of your teammates, ask you a question, and you have to decide which one you would choose or neither.
Perfect.
We'll start making more sense when I start asking. Okay, first we have Claire Emsley, Scarlett Camberos. Who would stick up for you first in a bar fight?
Claire Emsley, for sure. She tells it like it is. She's Scottish, she's crazy, and she puts the whole team on her back.
Okay.
Scarlett, she's quite shy, and she's super sweet. And
wouldn't fight anyone for you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. How about next one? Simone Charlie and Danny Weatherholt. Who would you borrow $100 from? Either or neither?
Neither.
Okay.
Because they would expect something back, for sure.
We'll unpack. You're going to have to unpack that with the 2 of them. M.A. Vignola or Sydney LaRue. Who would pick you up at the airport?
Definitely neither.
Oh, really?
The airport's like an hour away, and Sid has kids.
Right.
And MA chills with their cat all day.
You know what? I think it's too intense to ask people to pick you up at the airport, period. Stop asking people to pick you up at the airport.
I would probably pick them up, but okay. Next.
Okay, just the advice that I didn't give. Who would you have dress you for the ESPYs? Alyssa Thompson or Clarice Lebion?
If I want to go with something unpredictable, Clarice Lebion.
Okay.
And definitely not Alyssa Thompson, because I think she has someone dress her.
Oh, really? She does?
Yeah, she's a star. Look at her.
Oh, no, her outfit is really cool. When you say something unexpected, are we talking like the swan suit that Bjork wore? Like, how crazy are we talking?
That's exactly.
Really?
Yeah, she's French. She has style, but like it's crazy.
Who's most likely to give you relationship advice? Jasmine Spencer or Dee Dee Harachich?
It definitely most likely Dee Dee. She's gay.
Okay.
And she's always healing.
So she... what kind of stuff? Okay, I'm sorry. Is she always in a state of... so you're saying she's always in a state of repairing her broken heart?
She's repairing herself and her teammate. She's a great teammate.
Okay.
Yeah.
If someone said that I was in a state of healing, I'd be like, they think I'm broken.
But we've learned that it's okay to be broken.
That's true. You're right. Broken means strength. Who would sing the best karaoke song? Katie Johnson or Allie Riley?
I'm going to go with Katie Johnson and Rihanna.
Is that her song?
Yeah, she crushes it.
What's your karaoke song?
Tracy Chapman.
Fast Car?
Give me one reason.
Such a good one. So gay, Paige. Who would eat a ghost pepper out of these two? Julie Ertz or Megan Reed?
Definitely Megan Reed. She's down for anything.
Really?
Yeah. She's like a puppy dog that will literally do anything with you.
Okay, very gullible, easily convinced. Great, love that about Megan Reed. Who talks the most smack on the field? Kristen Press or Sarah Gordon? Either or neither?
Neither. Okay. They talk through their play. Okay. They're so good. But Merritt Mathias would definitely talk the most smack. She would happily say that.
Like, what is she saying on the field? Like, I'm gonna get your ass. I don't know how to talk smack.
I usually black out during games, but I would imagine she would say something like, I'll come for your throat.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Totally scared of her. Who would you go on a girls' trip with? Madison Hammond or June Endo? Ooh. Either, neither, or I'm adding both because I don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt.
No. Probably either of them. June, she's my roomie on travel away trips, and we just get each other. We can be naked, we can shower and pee at the same time. Do all of those things, so I feel very comfortable with her. And Madison, she's a cool chick. She'd be down for whatever as well.
I love those. What is it, like, requirements for a roommate for you guys? Is just to pee and be naked in front of each other.
Yeah, those are real things. I know, anxieties.
Well, because you're like, I'm exhausted after playing. Like, I'm just gonna pee naked.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Who would you call to help bury a body? Lily Nabet or Savannah McCaskill? I will say in this picture, Savannah already has cleaning equipment behind her, so...
Well, Sav is such an outdoorsy person that she would know all the best places to bury the dead body. And Lily would come for moral support. They both would definitely help me.
Oh my God. Okay, you have good teammates. Now, last question. Who would you take home to introduce to your parents? Simone Charlie or Sydney LaRue?
Oh.
Either, neither, or both. I'm adding both, but I don't mean to. Either or neither.
I'm going to go with both. Simone is like the sweetest person I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, she's great.
And what is she like on the field?
She's nasty.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are the players you want by your side.
Like sweetest off the field and like nasty go for your throat on the field.
Yeah. Think of like a Sour Patch Kid. First they're sweet, then they're sour. That is who Simone Charlie is. I don't know what color, but we'll have to talk to her about it.
Okay, I'd like to talk to all of these players in a feelings circle. Okay, that's it for either or neither. And just so that you feel good, I think you won.
Woo! What do I get?
And so did your players. So did your teammates. They all won too.
Yeah, they win every day.
Yes.
By being my friends.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching In These Cleats.
See you next week.